All right, let's talk about what is, without a doubt, one of the most fascinating and, frankly, world-changing technologies out there right now, generative AI.
I mean, chances are you've already used something like ChatGPT, or maybe you've seen one of those incredible AI-generated images online. You've experienced it. But have you ever really stopped to wonder, how does it actually work? How could a computer learn to be creative?
You see, to really get a handle on generative AI, we first have to understand what makes it so fundamentally different from the AI that came before. This isn't just about analyzing data that already exists, this is about creating something totally new.
Okay, this is the core difference in a nutshell. For the longest time, AI was basically a sorting machine. You'd show it a picture and it would say, yep, that's an apple. It was all about analysis. Generative AI, though, it's a creator. You give it a wild prompt like a glowing apple sitting on the moon, and boom, it makes something that has literally never existed before.
And this creative spark isn't just limited to one thing. We are talking about the ability to generate completely original text, absolutely stunning images, complex videos, new pieces of music, and even lines and lines of functional computer code. It's really becoming a creative partner in pretty much every field you can imagine.
So the big question is, how does it do all this? It can seriously feel like magic sometimes. So let's pull back the curtain and take a little peek inside the so-called black box to see the engines that are really powering this whole revolution.
The first engine, and the one you've probably heard the most about, is the large language model, or LLM. This is the tech behind ChatGPT. So just try to imagine an AI that has basically read a giant chunk of the internet. Books, articles, websites, you name it. It hasn't memorized everything, but it has learned the incredible web of patterns between all the words. So when it's writing something, it's essentially making a very, very educated guess, one word at a time, about what should come next to sound natural, coherent, and honestly surprisingly human.
Now for images, one of the most powerful techniques is called a diffusion model. This is so cool. It starts with nothing but a canvas of random noise. Think of old-school TV static, total chaos. Then, using your prompt as its guide, the AI carefully starts refining that chaos, little by little, almost like a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble to reveal the statue inside. It is literally creating order out of chaos.
And then we have GANs, which are just fascinating. Think of it like a game between two competing AIs. You have a generator AI, which is like an art forger, doing its absolute best to create a fake image. And then you have a discriminator AI, which is like an expert art detective, whose only job is to spot whether the image is real or fake. They just go back and forth, round after round, and with every attempt, the generator gets better and better at fooling the discriminator, until it's creating fakes that are almost indistinguishable from the real thing. Okay, so that's all the theory, but where is this stuff actually popping up in the real world? Let's take a look at the applications that are already changing the way we all work and create.
You've probably heard of a lot of these already. You know, from ChatGPT helping write an email to MidJourney creating this breathtaking art from just a single sentence. But you can see the pattern here, right? Each one of these tools takes a highly specialized creative skill, like composing music or writing software, and makes it accessible to almost anyone through simple, everyday language.
So, what's the big deal here? I mean, why does any of this matter? Well, this is so much more than just a few fun tools. What this represents is a massive boost for creativity, a huge surge in productivity by automating all those tedious tasks, and maybe the most important part, a giant leap in accessibility. It's empowering people who aren't expert artists or coders to bring their ideas to life, and that is transforming entire industries.
But, of course, with any technology that is this powerful, there's always another side to the story. We really have to look at this thing as a double-edged sword and weigh the unbelievable promise against some very, very real dangers.
And one of the biggest risks, the one that gets a lot of people worried, is the potential for misinformation and deepfakes. When you have the ability to create incredibly realistic but totally fake images, videos, and text, that line between what's real and what's not, well, it can get dangerously blurry.
Which really brings us to this fundamental trade-off. You see, on one side, we're facing some serious challenges. Bias that gets baked into the AI's output, major questions about job displacement, and this huge, messy legal battle over copyright. But on the other side, gosh, the possibilities are just staggering. We're talking about designing life-saving medicines, creating personalized education for every single student on Earth, and accelerating scientific discovery in ways we can't even imagine.
And this is the crossroads where we find ourselves right now. The technology itself is just a tool. A ridiculously powerful tool that's getting smarter by the day, sure.
but still a tool. It's here, and it's not going away. So that leaves all of us with a really critical question to think about. How are we going to choose to steer it? Will generative AI end up helping humanity, or will it cause more problems than it solves?